So Wednesday nights at an old church I used to go to, we would, have the evening of food and a little bit of a service. And then afterwards, we decided to start doing basketball because they had a gymnasium. So I'm there playing basketball, and the first Wednesday night we did this, we had some guys out there, and I'm like, yeah, I got this, right? And I'm going all out. I'm going all out, just playing hard, hitting shots, just all over the court. And I'm just really proud of myself because I haven't played in a while, and I was doing very good. So I hop in my car, drive home, probably about maybe, I don't know, maybe a 15-mile drive, 12 to 15 miles. Pull into the garage, and I'm sitting there, and I realize I can't move. Like, what is going on? Like, I was way too young for that to happen. I was in my 20s, and that happened. And I said, this should not happen. I realized I was out of shape. And from that point on, I said, I want to get myself in the gym and I want to improve myself so this never happens again. Welcome to the Rodney O podcast. Check me out at rodneyspeaks.com. All right, so today we're talking about fitness, and I've been a guy who's always been into fitness and working out, and it's always good to have somebody who shares that passion with me. So on the line, I have all the way from New York, I have Kev on the line, and his Instagram name is Big and Slim. How you doing, Kev?
Doing well, Rodney. How are you? Thanks for having me on the show.
Yeah, I'm doing pretty good. Thanks for joining me. Hey, I'm curious. I followed you for a long time, and I've always been curious about your Instagram name, Big and Slim. Could you explain that for us?
Yeah, so Big and Slim probably took about a week to finally come up with the name. Me and my buddy were throwing around ideas, and we finally thought, like, what's the absolute fitness goal, that everybody wants to achieve? And we came up with everybody wants to be big, everybody wants to have, a slim toned waist. So that's kind of what we came up with, and the page is called Big and Slim because of that.
Nice. Yeah, and so, when you think about fitness, and I see that you take good pride in working out and staying in shape, and I know a lot of people may look at you or look at others on Instagram and say, gosh, I want to be that way. But there are things that are stopping them. What do you think stops some people just from going out and actually getting in shape and getting fit?
Well, there's a lot of things that people will say that are barriers to them. They can say, it's time. Time is a big thing. Fast food is a big thing, and something they don't think about, but maybe is in their lives and intruding is Netflix or cable or DirecTV or their favorite show. So if you take some of those out, if you take Netflix out, you have plenty of time to cook, to feed yourself, to fuel your body with healthy things. And fast food, McDonald's isn't in your living room. You have to actually go out and get that. So it's all the barriers are really only exist in your mind. So if you can turn those off and just decide and dedicate yourself to, a healthier way of living, and obviously you don't have to turn the switch, it can be, very incremental. You can start with just one day of, eating healthy, working out, doing everything that you want to be doing, and then bump that up to 2 days and 3 days and whenever you're ready. And before you know it, you're living a healthy lifestyle. So all the barriers that you think are around you and that you can't get away from, they're really only in your mind.
Yeah, that's good. Because I was thinking today, there's so many things, excuses that can come up, and there's so many things that happen where you just kind of uh, get discouraged. But I think, if you take it day by day, like you said, a little bit at a time, because a lot of us, we didn't get out of shape or get the way we were overnight. And so we can't expect to really get back in it overnight. It's going to take some time.
Right, absolutely. Absolutely.
And so, when you worked out, can you kind of tell us a story about, what got you into fitness? What got you started working out?
Yeah, absolutely. So I'm kind of a country boy, farmer from PA, five generations of my family were farmers as well. But my story isn't really, a big realization that I needed to get fit, immediately. I always played soccer, and I think from the things that were around my life and the people that I watched and looked up to, such as like, the WWE or cartoons or superheroes, they were all big guys, muscular, people. So I think that's just kind of what got me into, fitness. And, that's what made me buy my first pair of 15-pound dumbbells. And, I started curling, started doing push-ups. And, after that, once I got into high school, I started working out with, some of my friends that were really into fitness. And it just kind of became a competition for me. I wanted to get stronger and bigger than my friends. So that was awesome, inspiration and motivation to have. And then once I got a little bit older, I kind of moved to more of the self-improvement side, where I was listening to, top speakers and businessmen, and, I was starting to read some books and, listening to Greg Plitt, who obviously we all know, hopefully he was very motivational. He always said to fall in love with the pain and fall in love with the process. And that's kind of what I adopted for myself, and that's how I got into fitness.
Yeah, and kind of mentioned, I mean, you talked about the whole self-improvement and everything else, and I think you shared with me earlier that's kind of your passion. How has fitness played a part in that? What is your passion for life? Just more than fitness, but your passion for life.
Like I said, and like we talked about earlier, self improvement is my passion for life, and I want to improve in every area possible, whether it's in my personal relationship with my girlfriend, whether that's with family, whether that's with business or even Instagram, and obviously fitness. So I want to improve in all those areas. So how do you do that? You research, you learn as much as you can, and then you put in the work to improve those situations and those areas in your life.
Yeah, that's good. And also, as you said that, because I'm a person that wakes up every day before 6 a.m. so I can hit the gym by 6 a.m. And I remember somebody asked me, they said, "Why are you going that early when you don't have to?" And I think, just like you said, the whole thing about fitness is it just really goes to every aspect of your life. And for me, if I can get started on the right foot, if I can get started early in the morning, it just makes my whole day a lot better.
Yeah, absolutely. And I think a lot of people, maybe look at you or look at, some of the top bodybuilders who wake up that early and get to the gym at 6 a.m. And I think most people think that, that's kind of crazy. But I'm sure that you and everybody else, they didn't start waking up at 5:30. Maybe they started going, late at night or just after work. And then over time, it kind of got earlier and earlier. And then when it came your top priority, you started making that the first thing, that starts off your day. So it's that whole thing that it's a process, and it's becoming more influential in your life.
That is so true, because I didn't even tell you that. Yeah, I used to go at night, and I used to be just a night person that would go to the gym every night. And then, just like you said, I had to get started with my day in the gym, working out in the mornings, and it's really been beneficial for me.
Yeah, that's awesome. I think that yeah, a lot of people are in that same boat that they're going at night and they don't know how people do it so early, and maybe that kind of deters them because they think that, oh, I have to be, if I want to be fit, I have to wake up at 4 a.m. and eat chicken and rice all day, and just those are also kind of the mental barriers that people think. They assume that it's this super hard life, but you wouldn't have it any other way at this
Right.
point in your fitness lifestyle.
Exactly. And so, what keeps you rooted and grounded? What keeps you to keep going, keep pushing, to keep yourself motivated? What kind of keeps you going?
I think it's still all rooted in that self improvement. So by me, putting so much into fitness, it gives back to my normal everyday life. So in order to get better at fitness, I'm eating well. I'm not drinking that much. I used to be a big drinker, but now I hold myself to about 3 beers whenever, the seldom times that I do go out, because I know that if I have a bad meal, or if I get drunk, the night before, then I won't be able to put everything I have into the workout the next day. So
Yeah.
that kind of keeps me grounded in my own life, keeping me, healthy. And, when you're eating better, drinking alcohol is a depressant. So eventually, the more you drink, the more you're not going to feel, so happy. So, keeping me healthy and happy in my regular life gives me a new appreciation for what fitness does. And then I want to improve in fitness as well. And it's kind of a two-way street, and it's a give and take in a positive manner.
Yeah, that's good. All right, so this is Kev. You can follow him on Instagram, Big and Slim. It is IG name. And before we go, because people are going to check you out, they're going to notice some tattoos on you. You want to kind of talk about a few of them and where they came from and the meaning?
So as you can kind of assume, I said I'm a country boy. My dad is very, very religious, and he didn't like tattoos very much. So at that point in my life, I think with my first tattoo, it was almost kind of maybe a little bit of rebellion on my side. But yeah, I got my first tattoo. It was for a family member who passed away. So, it had a lot of meaning to me. My second and third tattoo, I actually got at the same time, back to back. So I got one on my chest, my right pec. It's a religious quote that I stand by, every day. And so then they had me flip over, so laying on the tattoo that they just did, and then I had, actually my last name and my mother's side last name tattooed on my back, because I wanted to kind of represent, and it's always more for me for the tattoos. It's not really to show off, for anybody else. I wanted to represent, both sides of my family, because they've been such a strong influence for me. But yeah, my fourth and fifth tattoos were both underneath my arms. I got both of those on the same day also. One is forgiveness and one is dedication, which I think in life, that's all you really need. You're going to have people that, kind of, might want to hurt your feelings or hurt you or, take advantage of you in some kind of way. But you're responsible for your own happiness. So if you find it in yourself to forgive those discretions against you, then it's taking the anger away from you. It's not telling them it's okay. So in order to be happy with yourself, you kind of have to forgive those things. Maybe not forget and always be aware, but you want to forgive those things to take away that anger from yourself and be happy. And you also need dedication to the things that you're working towards. So you have to be dedicated to your spouse. You have to be dedicated to helping out your family. You have to be dedicated to fitness and in business and your religion and everything that is very important to you in life.
Yeah. Yeah, that's awesome. Yeah. So, that's one thing I noticed about you. You're a person of faith. I'm a person of faith as well. And again, I want to thank you for joining me today, Kev, and enjoy the rest of your day.
Absolutely. Thank you so much, Rodney. And if the people want to follow me, like you said, I'm on Instagram, Twitter, Facebook. I'm also on YouTube. Everything's, at Big and Slim. Thanks so much for having me on, Rodney.
All right. See you later.
See you later. Bye.
All right. Thank you for joining me on the Rodney O podcast. And if you want to be a guest on my podcast, go ahead and leave me a message. If you're listening to this, you know how to reach me. All right, guys. See you in the next one.